What's up, YouTube Nights? Welcome to Lords of Lawbox Trends, the cover price top 10 for the week ending 5/19/2024. We have a man from Amsterdam is back here with us, so the blast from the past.
Yay.
So, as usual, we're going to kick it off with a little musical interlude, shall we? And let's just do that thing. Let's do the thing.
Let's do it.
That's right, boys and girls. Welcome to the top 10. I hope you had a great weekend. Whenever we do a Tuesday show, it always seems like a week or so has gone on, right? Well, it has been a week since the Tuesday show.
It's the longest gap between shows, right?
Yeah, but since the Thursday show, it hasn't been a week. But Laura, say what's good to people.
Things TiVo said. It seems like it's been a week since last Tuesday, guys. Yeah, welcome in. It's good to have everybody. I'm so glad Gabe's here wearing his Gambit shirt. I love it. I would turn it into a crop top. Nah.
Yeah,
speaking of which, our man from Amsterdam, Gabe, say what's good to people.
Dude, I am ready for tonight's show. I hope everybody else is too, because this list, if you know what I like, I am all over this list this week. I actually got like a bunch
for you. It was like it was made for you. I feel
there's no offers for me this time. Like this is a list that I think people are just gonna they're just gonna run this list. Like this is stuff people should have in their collection.
I don't know. There's one on here that I think people may not have. So we shall see. And it's one of my favorites. This is brought to your friends over at CovrPrice.com for your price guide selections and trends. Head on over to CovrPrice.com or our friends our friends at Bird City Comics use the discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off in the Bird City Comics store. And they have a drop coming. Miss Laura, what is dropping?
All right. So this is as Nicole. This is Yoon. He did our Scarlet #1. This is gonna be dropping tomorrow. There's also an Ivan Tao cover that we partnered with somebody on, so there'll be sets available. But yeah, he killed it on this. I'm really excited with how it turned out.
I'm digging it. I really dig this. Yeah. Yeah. At first I was like, no, it doesn't. You know, it was I won't even go there. But anyway, let's get right to it, boys and girls. It is the Cover Price Top 10 of the week. What do we have for this week's runner-up?
Almost made it. Venom Separation Anxiety #1. This is the Gerardo Sandoval Gold 1 in 200 that just came out. This is an insane cover. Sandoval illustrates an amazing Venom cover that has sent the aftermarket into a frenzy. There are 3 variations of this cover. The regular cover has a raw near mint fair market value of about $78. The silver cover currently has a raw near mint fair market value of $139 for the 1 in 100 ratio. Now, this gold cover is the top earner of the 3 and the most chased. This is the 1 in 200 ratio cover that sold 10 copies this past week at a 7-day trend of 6%, with a high sale of $428 for a raw copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $349.
Real quick, Laura, what time is your drop tomorrow?
I think it's at 8 p.m. Eastern.
All right, 8 p.m.
I'll double check.
Pacific, or you can sign up to the Bird City text line and never skip a drop at all, right?
Yeah, then you won't have to remember. We'll just send you a text as soon as it comes out.
Put the number in the live chat, if you will. Just put it right there in the StreamYard live chat, and then they can get that.
Okay.
This is dope. This is really dope.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm digging this one. Venom Separation Anxiety. Yeah, the Gerardo Sandoval Golden 1 in 200. Damn, only 6%, but 428 for raw dog. Wow, that is a lot. Are you kidding me?
We got one of them, but it came damaged. And from what I'm hearing, a lot of the gold ones they're kind of coming in nicked. And so we're putting in a request to get a replacement, but getting like a high grade 1 in 200. Yeah, tough. They might.
Let's get right to the top 10, boys and girls. As I said, this is probably my favorite. No, this is not it.
Well, either way, the start of the top 10 this week is right here with Blood Hunt, Red Band Edition, #2, the Logan, that's appropriate name for this, Logan Lubra Crime Suspense Stories #16 homage. It's a 1 in 25 from Marvel. Marvel's leaning heavily into the Red Band editions of this series, amping up the blood and violence to a 10. A nice touch is the homage to a golden era when horror and crime comics reigned supreme. Before Seduction of the Innocent came along and mucked things up, they're leaning into the horror revival, and fans are absolutely loving it. We've tracked 11 copies sold, a 7-day trend of 259%, with a high sale of $300 for a raw near mint copy. And current raw near mint for the fair market value is $293 for this book.
Yeah. So Marvel, I'm not saying DC doesn't, but Marvel really listens to what their customers are saying whenever it comes to the variants, and they love the first kinds of suspense homage cover, right? And so but this one is I love how they actually put the Marvel logo where it says it with the Marvel in the Marvel manner. Yeah. So Blood Hunt Red Band Edition #2 edition Blood Hunt Red Band Edition #2 Logan Lubera Crime Suspense 16 homage 1 in 25 variant. Good God. Somebody asked about if the book had even come out. It doesn't matter on this list because we don't go off retail sales. We go off aftermarket sales. So you can sell a book online that hasn't come out yet, right? There's resales. Yeah, that's a real thing. People do it all the time. They say,
we do it all the time.
Yeah, buy it on eBay now and get it in 6 months or whenever it comes out.
There's always pre-orders because if these are like 1 in 100s, 1 in 200s, the store's got to try and make that money back as soon as they can.
Yeah, some people got burned with the less reputable dealers, and by not getting their books by the time they ship. So I won't name any names. I remember that happened to me actually on one book, but I won't name anybody.
But like you're saying, Tivo, Marvel's really good about knowing like what trends are going on and what people like. I wouldn't be surprised if they started doing like Dave Steven homages soon.
Yeah. Dave Steven crime suspense homages.
That too.
Mixing genres. All right. Number 10 on the list is Blood Hunt #2 Red Band Edition. All right. What do you have for number 9? This is my favorite because I love this series.
Yeah, this is cool. I think I actually bought this series because of you. Number 9, Strange Academy Blood Hunt #1 Daoli from this year. Blood Hunt is the newest trend to take over the Marvel comic universe. Anything Blood Hunt has been popping the last 2 weeks, and this book combines that with the introduction to 2 new characters. The first is Pia, a new student at Strange Academy. The second is the human embodiment of the Dark Hold, the evil book that ensnared numerous Marvel characters over the years. That was enough for fans to scour the aftermarket searching for a copy. We tracked 22 copies sold at a 7-day trend of 122%, with a high sale of $25 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $15.
So this Strange Academy Blood Hunt #1, the Diwali variant, raw dog, 25 bones. So this is the first appearance of Pia and the first appearance of Darkhold as an actual manifestation of a person. Before we just kind of knew it as a book. And I've actually kind of read this issue, at least through online, and it's very interesting because Pia is an actual vampire. Spoiler, but anyway, and she joins a school. And then and the kids go to somewhere, and then I won't get any spoilers, but what's really interesting about Blood Hunt is kind of Blade initiated it. Blade had like all the Darkhold users block out the sun with dark magic so that vampires could rise again. So we'll see if that's what really happened, right? If it's Blade or somebody using Blade to do it. So that's so dope that they're going into the whole dark realm of the Marvel comic universe. So number 9 on the list, Strange Academy Blood Hunt #1 Diwali variant, $25 for a raw dog. What do we have from
now? Gabe's gonna get excited, right? Here we go, Gabe.
There you go. You got all these.
I love seeing all my X-Men back issues popping up. So for this one, X-Men 185. This is Marvel back in 2006. So there might be some spoilers here if you're not completely caught up with X-Men 97. So anyways, X-Men 97 sure set up Gambit to become a horseman of the apocalypse. Hint, the massive run we're witnessing on this book when Gambit returns is just that. The showrunners for X-Men 97 have been pulling on our heartstrings all season long, and that was a hell of a way to cap the revival off. We have a decent idea of where they're going for season 2, and fans can't help but prepare themselves by picking up a copy of this book before anything becomes concrete. We tracked 49 copies sold, 7-day trend of 374%, with a high sell of $30 for a raw copy, and current near mint raw fair market value is $3.
So X-Men 185, number 8 from 2006. Who is this? The first appearance of a character? Who's the first appearance?
It's odd because 184, the last page or the last story page of 184 is Gambit being shown as a Horseman of the Apocalypse death.
That's
and then this is like his first like full appearance. So you got that cameo first appearance kind of situation with 145 and 184. So,
which is Gambit seems to be a bit an odd choice for a Horseman of the Apocalypse. You always pictured like Archangel, right? But Archangel had to be made into a Horseman of the Apocalypse because the dude flying around with feathers just doesn't do it. I'm sorry, it may look cool, but he doesn't do anything except for fly around. Interesting enough in the and I'm going way back here because this is your first rendition of. So in Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, the Spider-Man visits the X-Men, and the X-Men are attacking. I think it's a Sentinel, and Angel has blasters on his hands. For the first time I've seen that, on the character Angel. Before that, he just kind of flew around, picked people up, dropped them off and do whatever. But once he got it, when he became Dark Angel and he can actually throw like sharp knives from his wings, that was freaking badass. So X-Men number 185 coming in at number 8 for a raw dog of 30 bones. What do we have for number 7? Oh, back on the list.
Yeah, this is kind of cool to see this back. Number 7, we have Spider-Man Noir #1 from 2009. So those long-standing rumors and somewhat unsubstantiated claims that we would get a live-action Spider-Man Noir depiction? Well, those rumors were confirmed when Amazon Prime and MGM Studios announced that they would team up to bring the masses a noir series, in live action starring Nicolas Cage.
What?
After a long drought from this list, I know, this book was placed firmly on collectors' radars. There is still a long way to go, but fans are excited for what may come of it. We tracked 12 copies sold at a 7-day trend of 15%, with a high sale of $500 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $191. Nicolas Cage.
So, number 7, Spider-Man Noir, number 1. Let me just say that Nicolas Cage as Spider-Man Noir in the first Spider-Verse movie was perfect, right? Sometimes I just light the candle to see how close I can get to the flame to feel pain. You know what I'm saying? It was like one of my favorite lines of the character. If they were to do a live action and made it too serious, I just don't think it would work. I think you got to keep it kind of noirish, kind of campy and animated. What do you guys feel about that?
No, it's gotta be like the old, like detective style, like old radio shows where it's like that, where he just has these weird lines of dialogue.
Yeah, exactly. They can't. And the good thing is, Nicolas Cage doesn't take himself too seriously, right? I mean, the last few films where he's played like the weird Dracula and, there's all kinds of weird stuff. If you want to watch something super depressing, watch a film called Leaving Las Vegas, where he goes to Las Vegas to drink himself to death. I mean, Nicolas Cage has been all over the place.
I know what you're talking about. The movie is really sad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Or Raging Arizona is another sad one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If they do make a live action, give them that kind of 40s dialogue of, Casablanca, you did it for her, you did it for me, but keep it still a bit campy. I don't know how well it would work on live action, animated.
How old is he supposed to be? How old is Spider-Man Noir supposed to be? Because I feel like Nicolas Cage is too old.
Well, I don't know. He was plucked out of like a certain era, or at least a certain page. That's why he speaks that way. Obviously noir crime dramas were something that were really popular in like the 40s and 50s per se. You still have them every now and then, but not quite done in that style. If anything, then when they do it now, they pay homage to the old noir type mysteries films and TV shows and even radio, as Gabe was saying. All right, this is. It's cool to see this on there. That was my Godzilla voice.
That works. Yeah. That works. So there you go. Number 6. I can't top that, but I was going to talk about Godzilla 70th anniversary number 1 by the awesome Art Adams. This is a retailer incentive cover. That's a 1 in 50 from IDW. If you've been paying attention, this is yet another IDW retailer incentive variant that has hit our list. Typically, they've grown in value on the secondary market after a few years. But this book is bucking that trend. Coming out of the gate, atomic hot. And of course, with the resurgence in Godzilla love that we've seen the last year, and the amazing, awesome, incredible talents of Art Adams thrown in for good measure, it's not surprising to see this book heavily trend on the aftermarket. We've tracked 7 copies sold with a 7-day trend of 0%, with a high sale of $300 for a near mint raw copy, and the current near mint fair market value is $141.
I think that's 32% 7-day trend. But anyway, okay. Godzilla's 70th anniversary. Who wouldn't think Art Adams would draw a Godzilla cover?
Oh, dude, he does a lot of Godzilla covers. He does like the best monster lizard stuff ever. Oh, yeah.
He kind of is known for his kind of cheesesteak type stuff where all the chicks are posing in a certain angle. Oh, yeah. And Godzilla is almost doing that angle, but this is more of his profile.
If you think that's crazy, look at Art Adams doing Gumby. Yes,
that's crazy. So in the live chats, people said, yeah, Nick Cage was a huge comic book collector. He was, and our man Nemesis Prime says it was stolen but recovered. Yeah.
There's a podcast out there all about the theft and the recovery of that book. It is crazy. That Action Comics #1. It's a crazy story of how it got lost and how it was found and how they were trying to sell it back to him and the insurance companies and stuff. It's really cool. So it's called Stealing Superman. So check that out.
And never forget, he was going to be Tim Burton's Superman, and with the long hair and everything. And you got to see it in the last Flash film. Remember that when they kind of showed him, but his version of Superman was going to be remember the electrified version that came back from dead. Remember remember when Superman died? And spoiler alert! Remember when Superman died and came back to life? And one of his things was just being an energy being, as a light being, and Nicolas Cage was going to be that version of Superman. Thank God that didn't happen. But that's how big Nicolas Cage is, and that's why he loved doing like Ghost Rider. I mean, he did that movie. He was great as that movie, even though some of those movies suck pretty bad, man. But all right, halfway through there, boys and girls. Godzilla number 6 on the list. Godzilla 70th anniversary retailer incentive 150. Art Adams raw $300. Wow, we getting some really high prices for the top 10 this week. Here you go, Gabe. This should make you happy.
Yep, here we go again. X-Men number 25 is going to make the number 5 spot this week. This is from 1993. And like Gabe said earlier, if you guys haven't finished the show, there are some spoilers in this. So just mute me for a little bit. Yes, X-Men 97 has been shaking the aftermarket like crazy. Surprise, it's doing it again. But this time, it's bringing to life one of the most iconic moments between the master of magnetism and the Raging Canuck. Magneto straight up ripped the adamantium. Oh my God. You know what? Gabe, you should just read this one.
All right. I got it.
Go to town.
Yes. X-Men 97 has been shaking the aftermarket like crazy. Surprise is doing it again. This time, bringing to life one of the most iconic moments between the Master of Magnetism and the Raging Canuck. Magneto straight up ripped the adamantium out of Wolverine, much like he did in this book. It was epic and awesome and downright painful to watch. Still, this book has gotten tons of love over the years, and that animated depiction only redirected fans toward obtaining a cheap key depicting a major moment. We've tracked 59 copies sold, 7-day trend of 37%, high sell of $100 for a CGC 9.8, and a current raw fair market value is $24.
All right, Gabe, the rest of the list. You're doing all the X-Men. Deal? You do the X-Men, the rest of the list. I'll do the non-X-Men. Deal?
All right.
So remember, Laura, were you on the show last week when I said adamantium and somebody says you didn't pronounce it right? I was like, I said adamantium correctly. And I think that ghost lingered on until Laura had to say adamantium.
I know, it messed me up, man.
She was smart enough to tap out. She's like, nope, I'm done. Nope. So she didn't get the bingo lingo. So, all right. Number 5 on the list, X-Men, number 25, $100, and a 9.8. Still pretty cheap. But I
have a 9.8 signed of this book. It's one of my favorite comics.
There were, let me just say that the print runs of these were pretty darn high, if to say the least. In 1993, X-Men holographics things on them. Yeah, it was pretty high. What do you have for number 4? Oh, more.
Number 4, another X-Men. So here I go. X-Men 53 from 1996.
Laura, you can speak for the day.
More X-Men 97 spoilers, everybody. So, just be aware of that. This book depicts the first appearance of Onslaught, who has quite a complicated history. We won't get into specifics here. I would. But the Onslaught arc appears to be where X-Men 97 is headed next. If you didn't think this season could get even more epic, it appears the showrunners are ready to one-up themselves. Many collectors are preparing for what may come, and we're seeing those shockwaves already on the aftermarket. We've tracked 59 copies sold, 7-day trend of 37%, high sell of $163 for a CGC 9.8, and current raw fair market value for near mint is $16.
Who would have thunk that these issues would be so hot as they are now? Just because
dollar bin issues, yeah.
Well, they weren't dollar. Man,
oh no, they were dollar bin issues, man.
Yeah.
Like these are the stuff that I love, and people would say I was an idiot for liking this stuff.
Yeah.
I love Onslaught. And this all ties into X-Men 25 too. Like that's a
the X-Men 25 book is not a dollar bin book. That's like maybe $5-10, but it's not a dollar bin book. But we haven't seen Onslaught on any of the animated shows, right? They've never done Onslaught, have they?
No, I don't think I've ever seen any kind of adaptation of Onslaught whatsoever.
Yeah,
I take Gabe's word for it.
It's like the evil sonic personification that come to life of Professor X.
Spoilers.
and we're getting Cassandra Cain. Or did I say spoilers? Everybody knows who Onslaught is. It was a huge thing back in the 90s, and now in a few weeks or a few months, a couple of months, I should say, you're gonna see Charles Xavier's evil sister that was in the womb with him, Cassandra Cain, show up in Wolverine, Deadpool versus Wolverine. So wow. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Just imagine when they do a live action X-Men series, what they got laid the groundwork for. It's going to be amazing.
Shout out to Michael Baker in the chat. He's right. Onslaught was the boss of one of the Marvel vs. Capcom games.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Still not in any TV shows though.
No.
But still dope. All right, number 4 on the list is X-Men number 53. Damn, 9.8 for $163. All right. Gabe's like, I'm gonna send my kids to college.
Gabe's thrilled this list. He's thrilled.
What do you have for number 3? Look at Laura. Laura's like, I'm just gonna sit back because Gabe's gonna take all these.
Yeah, this
Dude, I'm more than happy to talk about this book. This book here. So it's X-Men 70, is X-Men 25, and this book here, Wolverine 75, are the 1-2 punch of X-Men comics to me. This is right after X-Men 25. I'm just gonna read what they got here for it. Most fans remember Wolverine's bone claws from several live-action films. However, a different generation was introduced to the bone claws in this very issue. This book marks the first appearance, fresh off of having his skeleton torn to shreds thanks to Magneto. He wouldn't get them back for some time, and with a little help from Apocalypse. But despite being declawed, Wolverine was still a complete badass. We've tracked 68 copies sold, 7-day trend of 46%, high sell of $65 for a CGC 9.6, and current fair market value for near mint is $10.
Yeah, Gabe is just a pig in mud right now.
I got a 9.8 of this too. It's a matching pair with 25 and 75. Yeah, these things go together. It's peanut butter jelly, peanut butter and chocolate. Like, these two books are absolutely, I've said it before, these is the last time that anything substantial has ever happened to Wolverine that stuck and changed his character.
I was not a big fan of the skeleton claws. I'm sorry. When
I
was reading X-Men, I was not a big fan of them because you can break claws, but adamantium, you can't break adamantium. Nemesis Prime, keeping my toes. It's Cassandra Cain. I said Cassandra Nova. I said Cassandra Cain.
You're talking about Batgirl.
None of us caught that.
Nobody remembers Cassandra saying as Batgirl.
But here's the thing: when he lost his adamantium, he became stronger because
you know why?
Around like 400 pounds.
His healing factor.
Of metal. His healing factor was a lot stronger because
adamantium poisons his body, and so his healing factor kicks in overtime to keep the adamantium from killing him.
Another fact about this book too is that this is Adam Kubert's first work on the Wolverine title. Imagine his first work is one of the most pinnacle points of Wolverine's history.
Speaking of Adam Kubert, shout out to man Otto, Nemesis Prime, and all the 3 men in the basement, and all the guys that went to the comic swap out in I think it was Connecticut. They had a great time with a comic swap. They did a great job of just turning that whole place into. They put a couch in the middle of it. They had like little booths and dealers and vendors. One day, guys, I'm flying back east. So I'm going to join you guys, man. I swear to God. If not for the bad karaoke that you guys posted about, I'm just kidding. No, he killed it. Some guy did a Metallica song, I think. But yeah, hit up 3 Men in the Basement or Nemesis Prime on their YouTube, on their IG, and you see some of the footage of there. If you're back east somewhere in the tri-state area, go hit up the 3 Men in the Basement in the comic swap, man. It was a good time. All collectors. Wolverine number 75, number 3 for $96, or excuse me, 6.5 for only $96. Wow. All right, what do you have for number 2? Damn,
we should do over under on X-Men 97 related books.
I know, over under how many reads Gabe's gonna get, and Laura's just gonna sit out.
No, it's great. I'm like just listening and learning, and he's like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, dude, this has been the best list ever. This is the best list ever. That point when he popped his claws in 75, I lost my shit as a little kid. I remember. All right. So number 2 on the list is X-Men 97, number 1, the Todd Knock cover. It's what the people want. Marvel fans are gobbling up X-Men 97. The talk of the town is that this is the best superhero content we've gotten in some time, and it checks the nostalgia box for one of the largest demographics of this hobby. Of course, said demo would venture out to secure a copy of this adaptation. For those who missed out, the aftermarket has been incredibly active as collectors search for a copy of this issue. We tracked 59 copies sold at a 7-day trend of 54%, high sell of $169 for a CGC 9.8, and current fair market value for near mint is $18.
Did this climb from last week? It was on last week's list.
But it was number 2, and it's kind of grown on me. I didn't really like the Todd Knock cover, but that being said, now I understand. It kind of fits the aesthetic of X-Men 97, I think, but still not one of my favorites. Todd Knock, sorry. It's speaking of, I wanted to go back to Cassandra Nova. Because I want to talk about Nova. One of my favorite channels to watch is Emergency Awesome. Marvel said they're developing finally a Nova series that takes place in the time after Thanos took one of the gems from Xandar and decimated it. And I swear to God, I hope they do World Mind Nova, where he's like super powered. His helmet talks to him like Knight Rider from Kit from Knight Rider. But for what they said, it's going to be the Sam Alexander version. But our good old friend Dick Ryder is still going to be in the show. But they are developing a Nova series, which shout out to our friend Mikey Sutton, rest in peace. I mean, that was on our thing a long time ago. I think everybody was expecting Nova when they saw the Nova Corps in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But we shall see. So number 2 on the list is X-Men 97, number 1, Todd Knock, regular cover, 9.8 for 116. So, see, now is when the 9.8s are rolling in and people are starting to flip them. So you may see more of these. So 7-day trend of 54%. All right, Laura, you get to read one. How about that?
I was enjoying Gabe, but I'm up for it. All right, number 1.
It was an episode of the Comic Bros, what it was.
Right, it was so fun listening to him talk. I think he could have just I don't know, what would you call it, freestyled this whole thing and not even need a list.
Oh, I was about to, but I was like, let me get to this list before I just ramble on for 45 minutes.
I feel like you didn't need anything. You just had it all.
But me and Laura just sit back and listen.
Yeah, we're learning here too. Doom, this is Sanford Green from 2024. So here we go. Another Dr. Doom book. Fans have been clamoring for the character to join the MCU for years. We've had a few live action depictions, but nothing definitive. However, that could change in the future. The community knows we're getting a live action Fantastic Four film in the MCU. We have castings for the Silver Surfer and Galactus. Of course, what would be the Fantastic Four without their greatest villain? Still the Fantastic Four, obviously, but it would be way cooler to have Doom on board. Marvel typically tries to push a title or character before they make their live action debut. This is all a conjecture, but a potential indication of where Marvel may be heading. Within the book, Doom is on a quest to secure as much power as possible to defeat Galactus. Marvel could be blowing the dog whistle here or throwing the community off their trail. Regardless, fans are taking a hard look at this book and securing copies in droves. We tracked 101 copies sold at a 7-day trend of 153%, with a high sale of $30 for a raw near mint copy and a current raw near mint fair market value of $28.
I was shocked that Doom is number 1 on this list. Not primarily known to be a big seller, but with the Fantastic Four film on the horizon, Doom number 1 is Sanford Green variant, raw dog 30 bone, 7-day trend of 153%. With the Fantastic Four movie on the cusp of being announced at San Diego, it's going to be announced at San Diego Comic-Con. The cast is going to come out. People are going to wow. Pedro Pascal, the rest of those cats, the guy from The Bear. People are just going to lose their stuff when they announce who they got to play Dr. Doom, who, everything. They're not going to have a clip because it's not in, they haven't done any principal photography yet that I know of. We haven't even seen him in costume. Maybe we'll see him in costume. I can't wait for this.
Who would be a good Dr. Doom? Who would you cast?
Well,
he
has a British accent, I think. He has.
Apparently, Ben Affleck is a rumor right now.
No,
I don't like that.
Shut your whore mouth. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it has to be somebody that has a. I mean, here's my Giancarlo Esposito has a great voice for Dr. Doom. I think.
Who is
him
that?
as Moff on Star Wars is great, but it had to be somebody who's done like evil voice work before modulated, and it has to be someone with a British accent. I'm sorry, or Latvian, whatever the hell.
Oh, so the guy that played Darth Vader, right? Anakin.
Yeah, sure, why not? All right, we got to go, man. I'm running late. Miss Laura, what do you guys going on tonight?
So the girls and I are be covering like movie homages. So if you guys are into comics that cover movies, yeah, we got some really neat ones on there too. Not stuff that you typically think of. So we'll be live in about 5 minutes. Gabe, you honestly made my night. Like, I think we need to have you on more if you're available, because there's gonna be a lot of X-Men.
Only when there's old specific comics.
Yeah, if there's a run,
everything from the 90s.
If there's a list that's just a run of 90s X-Men, I'm in. Like, I'm
holding you to that. The entire list is Stephen Platt book from the 90s.
Yes.
Gabe is all it is. Moon Knight, Prophet. Yeah, I'm down with that. But all right, for Gabe, any last words? Where can I find you, brother?
Instagram, Gabe Loves 90s Comics, YouTube, Omni Bros Live.
Omni Bros Live. Great show. It's been
long. Will you post your 9.8s, the graded ones?
Huh?
From tonight's list, will you post your put a picture up of you holding your 9.8s?
Oh, I think I put it up a couple days ago. It's a couple days ago.
How long has Omni Bros been on?
Dude, it's been like 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm just stalking on Instagram now.
And you guys talk about trades mostly, right?
It's collected editions, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, epic collections. It's been 7 years, so it's really just us hanging out, chatting up about comics with our chat.
You know what we need to do, Gabe, is I know that there's a Wizard Magazine podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get those guys on a show and talk about Wizard Magazine.
Yeah, I've been on their show before a few times.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
That's a great podcast too. If you have,
they're fun. They're fun dudes.
Your X-Men 25 is signed, Gabe.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I need to get my 75 signed to match it up. Hopefully Larry Hama or Andy Kubert or both.
Yeah.
But they're both 9.8. So like I said, it's chocolate and peanut butter, man. They go together. It's a 1-2 punch of X-Men.
Is it peanut butter and jelly? Well, peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate.
Yeah. Tune in on Thursday. We're going to give away a copy of this, boys and girls. So make sure you leave a comment after the video posts of what your favorite cover is. Shout out to JB. Shout out to Marty. And shout out to Matt Damon who couldn't make it. This is for Gabe, Miss Laura. This is Tebow saying that we had a good time. And keep digging in long boxes. We will see you Thursday for the comic book shakers of the week. Until next time, boys and girls. Peace.
Shake it, make it, pull it back. Oh my God. Come on and get some, boys. In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 3 greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright.
Shake it, make it, pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright. In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright. Go on and get some, boys.
What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright.
What's in the box?